child. Do not scroll away. I see you. I see the glowing screen in the dark room. I see the time slipping away as you try to distract your mind. You are trying to tire out your eyes. You are hoping that if you watch one more video, if you read one more post, you might finally fall asleep without thinking, without remembering. But I stopped you here tonight. I interrupted your scrolling for a very specific reason. I see the shadows gathering in the corners of your room. They always gather the moment your head hits the pillow. They creep in when the silence takes over the house. I see the memory you are terrified to confess, the memory that plays on repeat like a broken film, the mistake that makes your heart race, the guilt that makes your chest feel so incredibly heavy. You thought no one knew your pain. You thought you were hiding it perfectly. But I am here. I have been sitting right beside you. I have been watching you struggle with this unseen weight. Do not run from me tonight. Stay with me for just a few moments. Do not let fear push you away from my voice, because tonight is a holy appointment. Tonight I am going to show you something that will change everything. I'm going to show you how to tear up the verdict. The terrible verdict that has been keeping you awake. The harsh condemnation that steals your peace. Just listen. Let my voice be louder than the accusations in your head. This is not an accident. You did not find this message by random chance. There is no algorithm stronger than my will to reach you. I guided your weary eyes. I guided your trembling hands. Because I know exactly what happens when you finally close your eyes. I know the brutal battle that begins in the dark. I know the wave of dread that washes over you. You try so hard to outrun it. You fill your ears with loud noise. You stare at bright screens until your eyes burn with exhaustion. You do anything to avoid the total silence, anything to avoid the memories rushing back. But the memories always wait for you. They wait patiently in the shadows of your mind. And the moment the noise stops, the moment the screen goes black, the guilt rushes back in like a freezing flood. You wear such a brave face when the sun is up. You are a master of disguise in the daylight. You carry on as if your heart is not heavy. You smile warmly at the people around you. You do your work with diligence. You fulfill your duties without complaining. You answer the questions of your friends. You say you are fine. You tell everyone you are doing well. You tell them you are just a little tired. But I know the absolute truth. I see the immense effort it takes just to stand up. I see how much energy you spend just pretending to be whole. You have built a massive armor around your soul, thick layers of steel to survive the daylight. You built it so no one would ever see the cracks, so no one would ever see the bleeding wounds hidden beneath. But I see every single piece of it. I see what happens when you finally return to your quiet room. I see what happens when the door clicks shut and you are alone. I see the heavy armor fall violently to the floor. And I see the absolute exhaustion underneath. Your soul is so deeply tired. Your spirit is completely drained of life. You sit on the edge of your bed. You stare blankly at the floor. And the silent courtroom in your mind opens its doors. Every single night, the exact same trial begins again. You sit there as the lonely accused. You sit there as the broken defendant. And tragically, you also sit there as the ruthless judge. You play both roles in this terrible game of the mind. You bring up all the painful evidence against yourself. You aggressively replay the reckless words you said. You vividly replay the selfish choices you made. You painfully replay the moments you desperately wish you could erase. The moments you wish you could reach back into time and take back. The terrible mistake that haunts your every waking moment. The dark secret failure you cannot confess to anyone. You are so desperately afraid. You are paralyzed by the fear that if people really knew, if they truly knew what you did in that moment of weakness, if they knew the dark thoughts you entertained in your mind, they would turn away from you in an instant. They would walk out of your life and never return. They would look at you with deep disgust, so you keep it buried deep inside your chest. You lock it away in the darkest, lonely room of your heart. You swallow the key and hope it disappears. But keeping that heavy door locked is draining your life force. It is suffocating your daily joy. It is slowly poisoning your inner peace. You look up at the ceiling in the dead of night. Your chest feels so tight you can barely breathe. It feels like a massive stone is pressing down on your lungs. You twist and turn in your tangled sheets. You beg for sleep to come and rescue you. You beg for just a few hours of silent oblivion. But sleep refuses to come to a guilty conscience. Sleep violently refuses to visit a courtroom that is still in session. You brutally sentence yourself to punishment every single night. You tell yourself you deserve this agonizing pain. You tell yourself you are ruined beyond all repair. You tell yourself you have crossed a definitive line, a sacred line that can never be uncrossed. You are entirely convinced your mistake is fatal. You think your terrible error has permanently ruined your destiny. You think I am standing in that dark courtroom with you. You think I am standing up there with a heavy wooden gavel, ready to strike you down in fierce anger, ready to cast you out into the outer darkness, ready to confirm every single terrible thing you believe about yourself. You picture my face looking at you with stern disappointment. You imagine my voice shouting words of total rejection. But look at me right now. Look directly into my eyes, lift your heavy head and truly look at me. I am not angry at your silent tears. I am not impatient with your lingering guilt. I do not look at you with an ounce of disappointment. I do not judge you for the nervous trembling in your hands. I do not condemn you for being completely tired. It makes absolute and complete sense that you are exhausted. Carrying a secret weight of pure condemnation is a crushing physical reality. It was never what your fragile shoulders were built to carry. I did not design your beautifully complex mind to endure this torture. I did not create you to be your own relentless executioner. You are so incredibly hard on yourself. You are so rigid and unyielding in your own brutal judgment. You punish yourself far more harshly than anyone else ever could dream of doing. You think your deep sorrow makes you weak and pathetic. You think your inability to simply move on makes you a spiritual failure. You think your endless tears are a sign of a broken and useless faith. But hear me very clearly tonight. Listen to the absolute truth of my heart. I see your pain as completely real and incredibly valid. Your mental agony is not an illusion. The sharp sting of your regret is real and it cuts deep. I do not stand here and tell you to simply smile and forget it. I do not tell you to just get over it because I have a plan. I do not offer you cheap words to dismiss your profound ache. I do not tell you to ignore the gaping wound in your spirit. I sit right down with you in the middle of the chaotic mess. I sit with you on the cold floor of your darkest and longest nights. When the hot tears fall silently onto your wet pillow, I am gently catching every single one of them. When you whisper broken apologies into the empty dark room, I am leaning in very closely to listen to your fragile voice. I am not turning my holy face away from you. I am not covering my ears from your cries. You feel deeply ashamed of who you are right now. You feel dirty and ruined by your past actions. You feel entirely unworthy of receiving any kind of love. You feel like a massive hypocrite every time you try to do good. You ask yourself how you can even dare to call out to me. How can you pray when you have done such terrible things? How can you ask for divine help when it is your own foolish fault? You think your massive mess has permanently disqualified you from grace. You think your human failure has canceled my eternal promises. But you do not understand the terrifying depth of my compassion. You do not understand the extreme lengths I will go to reach you. Your bitter anger at yourself does not scare me away. Your dark doubts do not offend my holy presence. Your emotional numbness does not push me away or make me leave. You have built massive walls of intense shame, thick, heavy walls of deep self-hatred. But my unconditional love can pass completely through any wall. I am right here. I am looking far past the terrible mistake. I am looking far past the heavy burden of your regret. I am looking straight into your incredibly weary and bruised soul. And I see a precious child who is simply lost in the dark woods. A beautiful child who desperately needs to be found and brought home. An exhausted child who desperately needs a safe place to lay their heavy head. I am that perfectly safe place. You do not have to hide in the shadows anymore. You do not have to pretend the spiritual wound does not hurt. I know it hurts you terribly. I know it cuts straight down to the bone, and I fiercely validate your complete weariness tonight. You have fought a painfully lonely battle for far too long. You have carried the heavy, dark secret far too many miles. You are exhausted in your bones and in your mind, and it is perfectly okay to admit that you are exhausted. It is perfectly okay to stop trying to be so strong all the time. It is perfectly okay to let the heavy armor fall completely to the floor. Right here, right now, in the quiet safety of this very room, you are entirely allowed to fall apart in my presence. I will not scold you for your brokenness. I will not demand that you fix yourself before you approach me, because I am the only one who knows exactly how to put you back together. But before I can truly heal your bleeding heart, before I can restore your stolen peace and grant you rest, there is something crucial you must finally understand about the courtroom in your mind. There is a massive deceptive lie you have been believing for years. A dark lie that deliberately keeps you trapped in this endless cycle of silent torment. You thought this agonizing guilt was ultimate proof of your unworthiness. You thought this constant pain meant I had finally abandoned you forever. But the truth is something entirely different. Listen to me very carefully. You have looked at your intense guilt completely backward. You look at the sharp, heavy pain in your chest and you call it death. You look at your deep sorrow and you call it a final, terrible curse. But I look at your agonizing guilt and I see a genuine miracle. I look at your falling tears and I see a heart that is still beautifully alive. A hardened criminal does not lose sleep over the state of their own soul. A truly wicked person does not twist and turn in the dark hours of the night. They do not weep bitterly over the pain they have caused others. They do not care at all about the grave mistakes of their past. They sleep completely soundly because their conscience has turned to cold stone. But your conscience is not stone. Your heart is incredibly soft and tender. Your fragile spirit is still desperately reaching out for the pure light. The very fact that you are hurting proves you are not far from me. The very fact that you violently hate your mistake proves you belong to my kingdom. You are harshly judging yourself by the absolute lowest moment of your entire life. You are defining your entire beautiful existence by one single terrible chapter. But I do not read your life story that way. I do not define you by the worst thing you have ever done. You thought the heavy mental conviction meant I was actively pushing you away. You thought it was a clear, undeniable sign of my divine rejection. But it is actually the profound and beautiful evidence of my protection. I allowed you to feel the heavy weight of it so you would finally stop running. I allowed the extreme exhaustion to catch up to you so you would finally sit still. You have been running on an empty soul for so many months. Perhaps you have been running desperately for many years. You have been trying so hard to outwork your secret hidden shame. You have been trying to blindly buy back your own innocence with good deeds. You constantly serve others until your physical bones ache. You give your energy away until there is absolutely nothing left for yourself. You hope that if you are just good enough to everyone else around you, maybe the dark, ugly stain on your own record will magically fade away. Maybe the screaming, angry voices in your head will finally quiet down. But human effort cannot ever wash away a deep spiritual stain. Good, noble deeds cannot erase the haunting memory of a dark night. Only divine, pure water can wash the heavy, tired soul. Only my grace can speak a better word over your complicated history. You have tried everything else and it has failed you completely. Your human logic has failed to comfort you. Your daily distractions have failed to numb you. Your extreme physical exhaustion has failed to bring you genuine rest. You are completely out of human options tonight, and that is exactly why this specific moment is so deeply beautiful. That is exactly why you are sitting here alone with me right now. Look at the bright screen illuminating your tired face in the dark. Look at the quiet, empty room surrounding you. You think it is just a strange coincidence that you found this message. You think some cold digital algorithm placed this before your weary eyes, but there are no accidents in my sovereign kingdom. There is no random chance in the eternal economy of heaven. I saw you long before you opened this application tonight. I saw you hours ago when you first dreaded the coming of the night. I watched you go through the tired motions of your evening routine. I watched the heavy dread slowly build up in the pit of your stomach. And I positioned this exact message precisely at the end of your scrolling. I set an invisible divine boundary line in the digital space, a sacred immovable line that said you would go no further into the dark tonight. This is a divine and deliberate interception. This is a holy rescue mission launched specifically for your tortured mind. Your extreme mental exhaustion finally opened the heavy iron door. Your absolute quiet desperation finally made room for my gentle voice. When you were strong and fiercely self-reliant, you could not hear me. When you were busy aggressively defending yourself, you could not feel my presence. But tonight you are completely empty and beautifully vulnerable. And total emptiness is the absolute perfect vessel for my endless grace. This is the divinely appointed time for the heavy gavel to fall. But it will not fall to condemn you to further eternal darkness. It will fall loudly to declare you forever not guilty. It will fall to permanently shatter the chains holding your mind hostage. Everything in your painful life has led to this exact intersection of time and grace. But you must be incredibly alert right now. You must open your spiritual eyes and see what is actually happening in your room. There is a very real reason why the ugly memories attack you at night. There is a reason why the guilt feels so incredibly suffocating and heavy. You are not just dealing with natural human regret or simple sadness. You are under a direct and highly calculated spiritual attack. There is a ruthless, dark enemy who absolutely despises your potential. There is a cruel accuser who is terrified of your glorious future. This dark accuser knows that if you ever fully grasp my total forgiveness, if you ever truly accept that you are completely clean and washed, you will become an unstoppable, fierce force of light in this broken world. You will carry a powerful, unshakable testimony of radical healing, and the enemy simply cannot afford to let that happen to you. So he aggressively plays the exact same dirty trick every single night. He waits quietly until you are completely isolated and physically tired. He waits until the protective, busy noise of the day fully fades away. And then he inserts the old toxic tape into the projector of your mind. He forces you to violently watch your greatest failures on a massive screen. He boldly highlights every single terrible detail. He cruelly magnifies every single selfish motive. He turns up the volume on the painful voices of the people you hurt. He points a long, invisible, bony finger directly at your trembling chest. And he aggressively whispers absolute lies completely disguised as truth. He tells you that I am deeply and permanently disgusted by you. He tells you that your specific sin is the one exception to my grace. He acts as a merciless and relentless spiritual prosecutor. He paces back and forth in the dark courtroom of your fragile mind. He aggressively slams his fist on the table and demands full payment. He demands that you pay for your past with your fragile mental health. He demands that you pay with your precious sleep. He demands that you pay with your future joy and your divine destiny. And because you have a beautifully tender conscience, because you actually deeply desire to be a good and righteous person, you have been blindly agreeing with his wicked legal accusations. You have been bowing your heavy head and accepting his illegal sentences. You have been painfully paying a massive debt that is no longer yours to pay. You have been silently serving a prison sentence with a completely unlocked door. The terrible tension in your spirit is reaching an absolute breaking point. The enemy is fighting violently tonight because he knows his time is totally up. He knows that his absolute greatest weapon against you is the dark illusion of unforgiveness. If he can just keep you feeling deeply dirty, he can easily keep you feeling entirely useless. He can keep you hiding in the cold, dark shadows of heavy shame. He desperately wants to keep you completely paralyzed in the past, because a paralyzed, wounded soldier cannot fight the great battles of tomorrow. A paralyzed, fearful child cannot walk confidently in the pure light. He is deliberately distracting you with the cold ashes of yesterday. So you will completely miss the glorious, beautiful sunrise of tomorrow. He is violently throwing up thick smoke screens of ancient, dark guilt to block you from seeing the incredible, massive doors I am opening for you. Do you finally see his wicked and cruel strategy now? Do you clearly recognize the dark voice of the ultimate liar? It is a voice that brings only massive confusion and endless despair. My voice brings gentle, loving correction and deep, profound peace. My holy conviction always draws you closer to my warm chest. His cruel condemnation violently pushes you away into cold isolation. The enemy uses your very deep desire for purity completely against you. He wickedly twists your godly, beautiful sorrow into toxic, worldly shame. Godly sorrow produces eternal life and beautiful, genuine repentance. Worldly shame produces slow death and isolating, paralyzing depression. He creates a terrifying, massive illusion of a thick glass wall between you and me. You can clearly see the warm peace on the other side, but you cannot touch it. You mentally bang your fragile fists against the glass until they bleed. But the heavy glass wall is an absolute mirage. It simply does not exist in my spiritual reality at all. The heavy veil was torn from top to bottom thousands of years ago. The accuser is desperately projecting a dark hologram of a wall. Because he is absolutely terrified you will simply walk forward into my open arms. He completely knows that one authentic warm embrace from me will destroy his entire kingdom. He fully knows that one moment of pure, total surrender will break his heavy chains forever. So he aggressively turns up the terrible volume of the guilt. He weaponizes your own perfect, beautiful memory against your peace of mind. He wants to keep you locked in a perpetual, exhausting state of nervous panic, because a panicked mind cannot possibly hear the gentle whispers of the Holy Spirit. A panicked, racing heart cannot receive the holy download of divine strategy. You have listened to the cruel prosecutor for far too long. You have let the dark accuser dictate your identity and constantly steal your rest. But the long, painful trial is completely over tonight. The wicked prosecutor has severely overstepped his legal bounds, and I am actively stepping down from the highest throne of heaven. I am walking directly into the very center of your mental courtroom, and I am bringing an absolute and final end to this cruel charade. But to see the heavy iron chains fall from your wrists, to see the dark courtroom doors permanently and forever close, you must closely look at what I am holding in my scarred hands right now. Look closely at what I am holding in my scarred hands right now. I am holding the very written record of your wrongs. I am holding the exact document the dark enemy uses to torture you. Every single selfish word you ever spoke is clearly written there. Every dark thought you entertained in your weakness is fully recorded. Every massive failure that makes you completely sick to your stomach. The accuser screams that this dark document demands your total destruction. He demands that you pay for it with your sanity and your deep peace. You have listened to the toxic lies of the enemy for entirely too long. You have allowed the dark voice of the prosecutor to become your own internal voice. You speak to yourself with such incredible harshness and intense cruelty. You use words of total destruction when you look at your own reflection. But the loud trial of your soul is definitively and completely over tonight. Watch very closely what I do with this heavy legal document of your sins. I do not read it aloud to the packed courtroom to shame you. I do not hand it over to the high judge for a final harsh sentence. I take this terrible record of your darkest moments and painful regrets, and I completely tear it into 1,000 tiny meaningless pieces. I rip the heavy legal accusations apart with my own 2 scarred hands. I completely shatter the legal power of the enemy over your weary soul. I am standing directly between you and the vicious dark prosecutor. I am an immovable solid fortress around your racing panic thoughts. I become an impenetrable wall of holy fire around your fragile mind. When the accuser tries to boldly point a bony finger at your chest, he must first reach directly through my eternal divine protection. When he violently hurls flaming arrows of heavy shame at your heart, they violently strike my chest and fall completely harmless to the cold ground. When the dark shadows try to creep under the closed door of your mind, they will violently crash into the blinding pure light of my holy presence. I am strictly forbidding the crushing spirit of guilt from touching you ever again. You have been trying so incredibly hard to fight this massive spiritual battle entirely alone. You have been frantically trying to defend yourself with your own feeble arguments. But you do not need to say a single anxious word in your own defense tonight. I am your ultimate fierce defender, and I have already decisively won the case. The loud wooden gavel has finally fallen in the Supreme High Court of Heaven, and the eternal judge has declared you absolutely and permanently innocent. Not because you did not make a massive, terrible mistake in your past, but because I fully stepped in and completely absorbed the crushing penalty for you. The immense, massive debt was completely paid in pure red on a dark wooden cross. The sacred transaction is forever and completely finished. The heavenly account is entirely settled, and the heavy balance is absolute zero. The dark, cruel enemy has absolutely no legal right to torment your fragile mind anymore. He is completely trespassing on holy, protected ground. He is illegally occupying the sacred, precious territory of your imagination. And tonight I am issuing a final divine eviction notice to your dark, paralyzing fear. I am aggressively casting out the heavy spirit of condemnation from your quiet room. If you are finally ready to drop the heavy, sharp stones you use to punish yourself, if you are completely ready to let go of the thick, toxic blanket of shame, declare this in the comments below right now. I accept my forgiveness tonight. Type it out as a bold, physical act of total defiance against the dark whispers. Let the cruel enemy clearly see that you finally believe my truth over his loud voice. Let the dark, terrifying shadows know that your heavy debt is permanently canceled. Because I am giving you a profound and incredibly beautiful supernatural gift tonight. I am breathing a powerful, massive breakthrough directly into your dark room right now. I am replacing your heavy, nervous panic with a thick, warm blanket of deep peace. I am bringing you the ultimate divine gift of complete spiritual amnesia. Human beings have an incredibly stubborn and profoundly painful memory. You naturally remember every single agonizing, excruciating detail of your worst failures. You mentally replay the exact terrible words and the painful, awkward silence. The flawed people around you might occasionally remind you of your past. They might look at you coldly through the dirty, broken lens of your old mistakes. But I am not like fragile and easily offended human beings. I am the eternal, almighty creator of the massive, expanding universe. I have the absolute sovereign power to deliberately and permanently forget. When you bring your broken, bleeding heart to me in total silent surrender, when you weep silently over the hidden, terrible things you cannot ever confess to anyone else, I do not just offer you a temporary mild pardon or a suspended prison sentence. I offer you a complete and total spiritual washing from the inside out. The profound, massive gift of spiritual amnesia is completely yours tonight. You do not have to desperately beg me for it over and over again. You do not have to perform perfectly to blindly earn this divine, clean slate. It is completely free, and it is already fully paid for by pure, holy blood. I take the dark, heavy memory of your massive, devastating failure, the specific, agonizing mistake that violently haunts your mind every single dark night. I carefully tie it to a massive, heavy stone of endless grace, and I hurl it violently into the deepest, uncharted trenches of the vast, endless ocean. It sinks completely down into the eternal black abyss of my unending mercy. It is entirely swallowed up by the infinite, unfathomable depths of my pure love. It is completely, permanently, forever gone. It is permanently erased from the holy, shining archives of heaven. I choose to never ever bring it up to you ever again. I choose to look directly at you as if you had never committed the dark crime at all. This is the profound and beautiful, unexplainable mystery of my ultimate grace. You keep violently dragging the heavy, rotting corpse of your past back up to the surface. You keep constantly diving into the dark, freezing waters to retrieve the heavy stones of guilt. You stubbornly insist on carrying the painful, heavy weight because it feels safe and familiar to you. But I command you to let it sink completely tonight. I command you to physically release your tight, anxious grip on your own punishment. Stop constantly trying to frantically pay for a dark crime that I already completely erased. Stop violently prosecuting a dead case that was permanently dismissed in heaven. I want you to vividly imagine the heaviest, massive burden you can possibly carry. Imagine a massive, solid lead weight strapped violently to your tired, aching back. You have carried this awful, crushing physical weight up a massive, steep, rocky mountain. Your frail muscles are completely torn and your burning lungs are violently gasping for air. Tonight I am taking a sharp blade and cutting the thick, heavy straps from your bleeding shoulders. I am watching the massive, terrible weight fall violently backward down the dark mountain. It crashes loudly into a million tiny, meaningless pieces at the bottom of the deep valley. You are finally completely free to stand up straight and incredibly tall. You are finally free to breathe deeply without sharp, agonizing pain in your tight chest. Tomorrow morning, when the bright golden sun finally rises over the beautiful horizon, the heavy, dark judicial verdict will be entirely null and totally void. You will slowly wake up to a completely blank and perfectly beautiful white page. A fresh, totally clean start, untouched by the massive, catastrophic failures of yesterday. The dark, heavy, suffocating clouds of doom will physically lift from your tired chest. You will take a massive, deep breath of fresh air and feel absolutely zero pain. You will look deeply in the mirror and you will not see a ruined, useless person. You will see a profoundly forgiven and deeply cherished innocent soul. The heavy, rusted spiritual chains will simply dissolve into fine, blowing dust. The terrifying, heavy emotional burden will melt away quickly like soft snow in the warm sun. I promise you a completely clean and brilliantly restored conscience. I promise you a quiet mind that is no longer a brutal and bloody battlefield. Because you have completely and tragically forgotten who you truly are. You have let the loud, angry voice of your past failure define your absolute identity. You have permanently labeled yourself as dirty and ruined and completely unlovable. You have cruelly called yourself a massive disappointment and a total worthless fraud. But I am forcefully tearing off every single toxic, dark label the enemy placed on your back. I am gently washing away the dark, permanent marker from your beautiful forehead. And I am completely and totally restoring your true, eternal, divine identity. I am the living, pure, freezing, cleansing water. I am the absolute bright morning star that beautifully shatters the longest dark night. I am the fierce, mighty lion who roars violently over your enemies and scatters them in terror. I am the gentle, loving shepherd who carefully binds up your bleeding, broken, open wounds. I am the holy, spotless lamb who perfectly carries away the heavy sins of the entire world. And because you entirely belong to me, you are completely and totally clean. You are not the terrible, shameful thing you did in a blinding moment of weakness. You are not the dark, desperate, terrified thoughts you entertained in your deep isolation. You are not forever defined by the absolute lowest, darkest valley of your entire life. I strongly declare that you are the absolute beautiful apple of my eternal eye. You are the breathtaking, magnificent crown of my vast, glorious creation. No dark, wicked weapon of massive shame formed against your mind will ever prosper. No bitter, jealous tongue that rises up to falsely accuse you will ever stand. You are my deeply beloved and fiercely, relentlessly protected child. You are beautifully and wonderfully and meticulously, completely remade. You are an entirely breathtaking new creation birthed directly from the ashes of your ruin. The old, filthy, heavy, torn garments have been completely burned in the holy cleansing fire. I am warmly wrapping you in a bright, shining royal robe of absolute, perfect righteousness. When I look directly at you, I do not see a dirty, broken, worthless failure. I see the pure, brilliant, flawless reflection of my own perfect, blazing light. I see a brave and beautiful, incredibly strong survivor who is finally ready to fully heal. I see a glorious, massive vessel specifically chosen to carry a massive testimony of amazing grace. Your deep, painful, traumatic past is simply the dark, fertile soil for your beautiful, glorious future. Your terrible, heavy, massive mistakes are just the raw, basic materials for my ultimate masterpiece. I am actively, completely redeeming every single lost, anxious year and every single bitter, falling tear. I am actively turning your greatest, heavy, toxic shame into your most powerful, radiant weapon. I am actively restoring the pure, joyful, childlike innocence you thought was lost completely forever. I am gently placing a beautiful, shining, golden ring of divine authority back on your trembling finger. You are entirely, unconditionally, completely forgiven. You are profoundly, passionately, deeply loved. You are completely washed, entirely pure and clean. You are perfectly and forever safe inside the strong, massive walls of my eternal kingdom. But to actually physically step into this glorious new reality tomorrow morning, to actually fully experience this profound, massive, holy peace in your racing mind right now, you must make one final and incredibly difficult, brave choice tonight. You must fully, willingly do the one specific thing you have been absolutely terrified to do. You must make the incredibly brave choice to simply and completely let go tonight. You must fully surrender your frantic, desperate need for absolute mental control. I know you are deeply terrified to completely drop your heavy defensive armor. You honestly think that if you stop fighting, you will completely fall apart. You think that your rigid, intense anxiety is the only thing keeping you perfectly safe, but your massive, rigid anxiety is a cruel, terrible prison pretending to be a safe fortress. And falling completely apart in my safe, massive hands is the only true way to be put back together. Give me the heavy, toxic black pen you use to write your own cruel daily condemnations. Stop frantically, furiously writing the dark, terrible chapters of your own impending doom. Hand over the massive, heavy, rusty armor of absolute, paralyzing self-hatred. Hand over the deep, bitter, acidic resentment you constantly harbor against yourself. Hand over the profound, terrifying fear of what your unknown tomorrow might suddenly bring. I am gently, warmly inviting you to completely lay down your sharp, heavy weapons of self-punishment. You do not need to constantly, repeatedly, mentally whip your own tired, bleeding back anymore. The terrible, violent, bloody war inside your racing, chaotic mind is completely, totally over. I am officially declaring a massive, eternal, holy ceasefire in your troubled, anxious thoughts. I want you to physically, deliberately relax your tight, tense, aching shoulders right now. I want you to intentionally smooth the deep, anxious worry lines on your tired forehead. I want you to completely, fully relax your tight, clenched, aching jaw. I want you to slowly, completely unclench your tight, rigid, white knuckles. I want you to fully release the tight, painful, suffocating knot in your heavy chest. Let the physical, soft bed completely, fully support your heavy, exhausted frame. Let me gently, carefully wash the dark, heavy mud from your weary, bleeding, tired feet. You have walked completely alone through a massive, terrible desert of dry, painful isolation. You have stumbled blindly through the dark, terrifying valleys of intense spiritual depression. But tonight you are finally resting in the lush, green, beautiful oasis of my infinite, endless grace. You have an absolute, permanent, divine privilege to be completely, totally weak right now. You do not have to be strong and bravely courageous for anyone in this quiet, dark room. You do not have to perform perfectly to blindly earn my deep, eternal affection. You only have to be my perfectly loved and completely, deeply protected child. Surrender the agonizing, sharp, piercing pain of your biggest, deepest, darkest regrets. Surrender the toxic, heavy, crushing shame that strictly tells you you are permanently, forever ruined. Give the entire, massive, heavy, terrifying burden entirely, completely, fully over to me. I am infinitely strong enough to effortlessly carry the immense, heavy weight of your dark past. I am massive enough to completely, gently absorb your most violent, terrified, angry screams. I am infinitely gentle enough to carefully, perfectly hold your most fragile, shattered, broken pieces. Just completely, simply, entirely, fully let it all go tonight. Let the deep, massive, heavy, warm wave of my profound, divine peace wash completely over you. You are completely and permanently, perfectly safe in my massive, strong, eternal hands. Absolutely nothing in this entire, vast, broken world can ever forcefully snatch you away from me. No dark, wicked demon and no cruel, bitter human being can ever separate you from my eternal, burning love. You are permanently, securely, eternally tethered to the massive, heavy, unshakable anchor of my pure grace. My precious, deeply beloved child. Listen very closely to my gentle, quiet voice as the heavy, dark night fully settles in. If you know another beautiful, terribly tired soul who is drowning in their own silent, painful guilt tonight, if you know a precious, dear friend who is completely suffocating under the heavy, dark, freezing water of past mistakes, I am strongly, deliberately calling you to be my brave, holy, anointed messenger right now. Do not selfishly keep this profound, massive, eternal healing completely to yourself. Be the beautiful, brilliant, shining light in the terrifying, dark nightmare of another person. Share this profound, holy message with them immediately right now. Send this exact pure video to them so they definitively know I have not forgotten them either. Let them clearly, undeniably see that their massive, heavy spiritual debt is also completely, totally paid in full. Become a beautiful, shining, warm beacon of absolute, bright, divine hope in their terrifying, lonely, dark night. Use your own deep, painful, miraculous healing to intentionally set another captive, terrified prisoner completely free. This is how my eternal, beautiful kingdom violently pushes back the terrible, heavy darkness. This is how broken, forgiven people beautifully, miraculously heal other broken, terrified people. Breathe deeply, slowly, completely now. Take a slow, massive, deep, beautiful breath of pure, holy, absolute, divine peace. Exhale the dark, heavy, toxic, stagnant air of your old, bitter regrets. The heavy, terrible, agonizing war in your tired, racing mind is definitively, totally over. The loud, cruel, merciless mental courtroom is completely, totally, permanently closed and entirely empty. Close your burning, tired, heavy, weeping eyes. You do not have to furiously, desperately fight the dark, terrifying shadows anymore. I have forcefully driven the dark, terrifying, evil shadows completely out of your quiet room. My massive, holy warrior angels are fiercely standing guard at your closed door right now. They are holding bright, flaming swords to fiercely, relentlessly protect your fragile, deep sleep. The warm, bright, beautiful golden sunrise of my infinite new mercy is already gently approaching. The heavy, dark, cold, terrifying night has completely, totally, permanently lost all its power over you. You are entirely, fully, spiritually clean and beautifully, totally, perfectly innocent. I am watching over you with a profound, intense, burning, fatherly love. You will wake up tomorrow morning feeling completely, miraculously, incredibly light. The morning birds will loudly sing a beautiful new song of your total, absolute freedom. Rest now. Rest your heavy, tired, anxious, racing mind. Rest your weary, aching, exhausted physical body. Rest your deeply exhausted, completely drained, fragile soul. Sink completely deeply into the warm, soft, heavy mattress beneath you. Feel the total, complete, absolute safety of my warm, heavy, holy presence completely surrounding you. There is absolutely nothing left for you to frantically figure out tonight. There is absolutely nothing left for you to anxiously, constantly fix. Rest now, my beautiful, perfectly forgiven, beloved child. Close your tired eyes and gently, profoundly drift into deep, perfect, holy peace. Because I am already actively, powerfully standing guard in your beautiful, bright tomorrow.